Alrighty folks, well today's topic is all about how do you deal with know-it-alls, the people that come into a workshop environment and really want to assert their dominance, so to speak, or feel like the rest of the room considers them an expert, so to speak, right? So this was actually a question I got on a podcast that I appeared on yesterday, which is pretty awesome, and it's a great question that comes through. And it's a question that a lot of people really struggle with. It's like, how do I deal with these people? I'm here to train, I'm here to inspire, I'm here to change people's lives. But then you get someone that comes in that wants to share their knowledge, their experience, and potentially position themselves at a bit of a higher rung or higher status than everyone else, and possibly even the trainer as well. Now, we can appreciate this. When you've got a bunch of life experience, you may want to share that, all right? And you may want to let people know what works, because it's valid, it works, right? It's worked for you. And some people will come into the learning environment really having a need to let the world know that they know some things, right? And it really is driven out of that need for significance. And we all have it, but some people are just able to put their ego aside when they walk into a learning environment, and other people are not, okay? And that's totally fine, right? However, as a corporate trainer or workshop facilitator or just business owner out there delivering your training, you need to be able to work with these people, not against them, and not put them offside, because if you put them offside, it's going to be a very clunky workshop, right? So the thing is, these know-it-alls, so to speak, can occasionally create what I call speed bumps in the learning process, right? So anything from putting up their hand and say, I don't agree with that. Or in my experience, that's not been the case, all right? Or somebody else puts up their hand, shares an opinion, and then they jump in and say, oh, that's not true, right? So any kind of vocalization that creates a speed hump in your delivery is kind of like a know-it-all in action, right? So how do we deal with this? How do we deal with it? So first thing you want to do is, in your mind, you just want to remember that these people, they're not bad, they just have a deeper need to be heard. They're not bad, they just have a deeper need to be heard, all right? So let's get into it. First thing you want to do is very early on have an icebreaker that actually gets people revealing something in regards to learning. All right. So one of my favorite icebreakers that I do is getting people to share with a partner what's something they love to learn about in life. You know, what's a topic they love to learn? Maybe it's they love to learn fishing, or they love to learn X, Y, Z, right? Or they love to learn about leadership, right? Now, the reason I do this icebreaker is it gets people open to the idea that there's new things to learn, or we don't know everything, all right? So that's the first thing. I love doing icebreakers or activities that keep people in the mindset of there's more to learn. Next thing, in the ground rules, I'm going to state that one of the ground rules is ask questions with a mentality of curiosity, not challenge, right? And you can frame up the ground rules however you want to. But another one that you could add in is we are going to set up a world-class learning environment, which implies positivity and supporting others, all right? So positivity and supporting others, right? All of these little things are just laying the groundwork for dealing with the know-it-alls in a bigger strategy, right? So next thing you want to do is, if you have people that are regularly putting up their hand and saying, I don't agree with, or whatever it might be, what one way is that you can deal with that is saying, that's a great comment. I really appreciate that. And let's have a chat about that at lunchtime, or let's have a chat about that after class, because I think that's a really valued opinion. What we want to do at the moment is we just want to get through this task, and we just want to make sure that you've got as little tasks to do at home for homework, and we just want to have an opportunity for people to sit, reflect, and have their breakthroughs. Would it be okay if we just carried on and we got back to that point later on? Would that be okay with you, right? So any way that you can deploy that yes and approach is going to be really, really healthy, and it's going to keep them happy because they've got a sense of, yep, I was just heard. Now, next, in regards to the atmosphere that you want to set up, very early on, if you can do any kind of activity where you get your participants stepping out of their comfort zone a little bit, and then in small groups doing the activity, but then getting to declare to each other or to the entire room, what did your partner do really well that you were impressed by? What did your partner do really well that you were impressed by? And as soon as we ask that question and get each other to reflect on each other's performance, suddenly the know-it-all kind of loses their ammunition. And they start to realize the entire room is going to be congratulating each other, acknowledging each other. And when you do that, people's need to express themselves based on their own life kind of goes down a little bit. And they start to realize it's not about them, it's actually about the entire room. So, if you can create opportunities where you get your learners to acknowledge each other and their performance as fast as possible, the know-it-all energy drops down a notch, right? And then from there, you can also get people doing activities and then self-reflecting. What are you really happy about with what you just did? What are you really happy about with what you just did? And again, anytime someone is encouraged or forced to self-reflect, that know-it-all energy kind of dissipates a little bit because they're in that learning mode, that reflection mode, and they start to realize, well, that wealth of experience is great. You brought it into the room, great, but it's not really, critically related to what we're doing right now, because what we're doing right now is stretching ourselves into some new skills, whatever that may be, right? So let's just recap on this video. First of all, if you need to set it up in your ground rules, that we come in with a mentality of asking questions with curiosity. You want to set up ground rules that we're going to create a world-class positive learning environment. You want to set up ground rules that we are supporting each other, helping each other. Next, you want to have icebreakers that actually imply and lead to an open mindset or a growth mindset. Next, you want to have activities where people are forced into acknowledging each other's performance and letting them know what they did really well. And then creating opportunities where people self-reflect on what they did themselves really well. And then finally, you want to also, last thing, move the know-it-alls around the room, right? What you don't want is a know-it-all staying stuck in the same seat the entire presentation or the entire session. If you can get people to stand up and move the know-it-all without them knowing about it around the room, working with different people so that different people are exposed to the person, eventually what you find is the know-it-all will step into line, all right? Eventually they'll go, okay, fine, I'll learn just like everyone else, right? So, hopefully you got some value from these tips, folks. If you did, like, comment, share. Let's get the message out there. And at the end of the day, know-it-alls, they're great. We want to make sure they feel valued, they feel heard, and we want to draw their knowledge out, but we don't want their knowledge to be overshadowing you, the trainer, but also the rest of the room as well. Because everybody in the room deserves equal space to be able to share their own ideas as well. On that note, folks, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. My name is Mark Miles, helping you become an even better trainer, presenter, workshop facilitator, and giving you the tools and tactics to be able to do that. Thanks for watching, team. See you on the next one.